Hello, welcome back to the Greenhorn Photo Taker. We're trying to get into a little bit of trouble today. It's about 10 degrees after a really prolonged cold snap. Today is the last day that it'll be a high temperature below freezing for a couple of days. So I had to take the opportunity to come back to Raymondskill Falls and hope and pray it is completely encrusted and covered with ice. I've been coming here for about 10 years, and only once have I seen the perfect set of conditions of a low water flow after a really long cold snap, and man, it's majestic. So the problem is, a few years ago during COVID, they closed access down to the river and blocked off a lot of the recreational trails that used to allow folks like me to get down to the base of the falls. So I don't know what's open. I think I might have to traverse up the stream bed, which makes me a little bit nervous, right? It's 10 degrees out right now. I don't want to fall in the water. It's not a far hike, maybe 2 miles. But my propensity for falling combined with frigid temperatures and water, probably not a great idea to get wet. So the first order of business is to take the main trail to the falls. And there I want to take a vantage point from behind the fences to see if it's even worth going down to the base. Raymondskill has 3 levels. The first 2 levels are accessible by trails and bridges and boardwalks. The third level is what I want to get down to. If it's not encrusted over, where I could walk down there on top of the river, then it's not worth going out of my way to try to find it, and we'll think of something else to do today. If it is encrusted over, which I'm almost positive it is, we've had nights well below zero, -6, -7, incredibly windy. Like, this place should be, and as I listen now, I don't hear the flow. Usually from the parking lot, I can hear the falls. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's go see if we can get down there. Let's go see what it's all about. I guess I have to take out my big jacket too. Don't laugh at me when you see Big Blue. Okay, so many people have obviously come here. There is a well-trodden path that leads down to the main falls. That's good. Coming up over to my left is the access I would need to go down to traverse the stream bed. And it looks like many people have gone down that way as well. So that's good. So far, perfect start. I don't have to trudge through snow that's deep. And the access looks like it is available. So let's get down to the falls and see what it's like. I'm so hopeful right now. Like I'm giddy. I'm gonna stop and see if I hear anything. I wonder if there's just not enough flow at all. Because truly, you can normally hear the falls roaring at this point in time from this vantage point. Maybe we're in for a bust and there's not enough flow at all. Okay, so look at this. The old recreational path, people have jumped the fence apparently. Where did they get in from? Oh. That is a little annoying. So here. People have ripped the fence down. That really pisses me off. So we are not going to take that path at all. Gosh, oh my goodness. They are. Look at that. I've never seen it like this before. Sorry, I'm rambling. And not look at this, they did it again here. People suck. So they tore down the fence to get down to the lower falls instead of doing it the rewarding way and finding your way down through a legal route. That is so annoying. Let's say there's good news and bad news. The bad news is people suck. Tearing down the fences, not cool. Not cool at all. The good news is there are footprints down there, which I was worried a bit about, you know, where I could trust the ice on top of a flowing river. But I would not be the only one down there. So I feel a little bit better that someone has been there before me. Doesn't look like they died. Didn't hear anything in the news. So let's start the trek the long way and see if we can get there up the riverbed. Wiped. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Seems like someone tried to go around this way. I'm gonna go riverbed. All right, so I just had a moment of indecision. I saw a couple of footprints leading off to the right, which from past experience I know there's a recreational trail there, and those footprints probably hook in to the recreational trail. And in the summer I've been on that trail. It's alongside of a pretty narrow path with a drop off near the falls, and I don't know if I want to risk wasting the time to see if it's passable versus going down to the stream right now and walking in on the riverbed. We'll have to see. On the other hand, the riverbed may not be passable, and I'm wasting even more time. But this seems to be the most moral way of getting to the base of the falls, as I know it's not going near the fenced off area. So ultimately that was my decision. Let's do right by the NPS and not tread on areas that are closed for a reason. Also, the base of Raymondskill, this whole riverbed and river drainage is completely closed in the summer. It's probably from like May to September, maybe May to October. Whole access is denied, mainly because the idiots from COVID really trashed the place. I mean, there would be families partying down there all day long. Beer bottles, beer cans, garbage. You pull up to the parking lot and every garbage receptacle was overflowing, and there are heaps of garbage on the ground right next to them. I mean, just pack it out. If the garbage can is full, just pack it out, right? So it really ruined it for the rest of us. It is interesting how I'm still bitter over that. This used to be one of not a hidden gem. A lot of people knew about this place, but I really enjoyed coming here in the summer and catching, you know, the morning light coming over the lower base of Raymondskill. But no longer an option. Everything's closed. That's pretty crazy. If I am quiet, you can hear the water. So, this is obviously the riverbed. That's pretty cool. So apparently no one else has tried this. I don't see any footprints. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. That is some incredibly thick ice. So I feel good that I'm not going to fall through here. And let's just make our way up and see what happens. What a unique vantage point. Okay, there's some footprints over here. Gnarly. Okay. Just went through the top layer. I have my micro spikes on, but this is still too slippery. We'll stick to the edge. All right, we got to cross over here. Get around this tree fall. Oh my gosh, look at this. This makes me happy. This makes me happy. Also don't want to cross over there. All right, you can figure this out, Louie. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that, wouldn't you know it? I don't love falling through like that. So you're just counting on a top layer. Sheesh. Is this incredible or is this incredible? Unbelievable. Stop that. This is just gorgeous. Wow. This is quite amazing. Let me tell you what I can see from my vantage point and to try to put this into words. In front of me and behind the camera is the Raymondskill Creek riverbed, or creek bed I should say, and that's what we just walked up. And it's a vantage point that I don't really get to see much. Boy, it's cool being in this funneled valley that the river carved out, I guess over tens of thousands of years. Up here to my left is the lower viewing platform of Raymondskill. That's our vantage point from the beginning of this video. And then behind me, can you believe how big this is? And behind me is the main falls of Raymondskill, and they are just so encrusted with ice. It's pretty darn incredible. And to the left, there's another small, I'll call it a seasonal waterfall that comes down right here that often also leads to just wonderful ice formations. Above me, I'm below the tree line, I can see Mountain Laurel and these huge pines and other types of trees, other hardwoods, they're shooting up from the cliff faces. What an incredible place to be. And I do see the recreational trail that I was speaking about, and people have come down it, but I'm glad I chose not to take this route, especially by myself. There is definitely one tricky spot right there that I see that would have made me entirely uncomfortable, especially with a pack on. Yeah, so I'm excited. We did this. There's a pretty strong flow, so I don't want to get too much closer to the water there. I don't know when the ice will give out. But all in all, this is incredible. Let's spend some time together at Raymondskill Falls. I guess I should mention now it's a Monday. You know, I took off from work to get this done. Heard some cracking. I'm sure it's fine. What could go wrong? But yeah, let's get this done. Now that I've had a few minutes to enjoy, my goodness, it is absolutely frigid out. Definitely starting to feel the cold. This is, I would say, a mixed visit. On one hand, my goodness, I am so happy to be here. This is exactly what I was hoping for in terms of the level of ice. It is just awesome. You feel so small down here. And honestly, you're one of the few people to make it or even attempt it. I mean, that feels great. That feels great. Add in the fact that I was nervous, right? It just feels more rewarding. In hindsight, there was really nothing to be nervous about. But on the other hand, because of all the wind we've had, there's just so much debris everywhere. It's not making for picturesque landscape photography. So we'll take that as a mixed visit, even though I'm having a blast and absolutely want to be here more than anywhere else in the area. So cool. pretty dang awesome. I don't know if the mic just picked that up, but there is heavy cracking sounds now. I have to imagine it is the sun hitting the wall more than anything and starting to weaken some of the top layers of ice. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Amazing. Truly awesome. Okay, this is where we end the video. Thank you so very much for being part of this morning. I really had an absolute blast. And it felt good to get out of my comfort zone. I was nervous walking down to the stream, and even last night, I did not sleep well thinking about potentially falling in the river without any cell phone service, and what would be my next step if I did fall in this frigid 10-degree temperature. And I almost canceled. I almost woke up and said, you know what, it's not worth it. But then I remembered all the other times I felt nervous with the camera about something that, in hindsight, was nothing to worry about. I'm not an idiot. When I got down to the river, I saw it was a foot thick. I'm not going to fall on the ice. So you don't want to hear me be a life coach, but a lesson that I continually learn and then forget and learn again is challenge yourself. It's okay to take a risk. It's okay to get out of your comfort zone as long as you manage that risk appropriately, which I definitely feel I did. So thank you for watching. This place is so awesome. I wish I could spend the entire day here, but I'm definitely starting to get cold. I feel it in my toes, my legs, my fingers, so it is time for me to leave. I hope you love the base of Raymondskill Falls in the deep winter as much as I do. It really is something that does not occur very often. If you're in the area, why not give it a shot? Check it out. Thanks for watching. Get out and explore. That sound will never... Oh, yeah.